Okay, guys, so I apologize. Let me see if this is coming through. Something broke there for a second. I think I got it all figured out. So yeah, someone can let me know if you could hear me and see me. That would be fantastic. I appear to be up. I'll give people a few seconds to pop back in here while I check. But I think I'm good to go here. Loud and clear. Okay. Apologize for that. I don't know why I clicked the start streaming button, and as usual, it didn't start streaming actually. So all right, let me just get everything set up here. I'm gonna give just a second for people to wander back in. I tweet out something here just to say, oops, I broke the stream, come back in now, but people should just kind of pile in as they see it's back up. All right. I see people starting to poke back in, up to 8 now. But everything looks good there. Seem to be. Okay, so again, guys, if you guys are new here, essentially what we do is we give Barry some much needed time off. We give him a little break to kind of rest and recuperate and be good to go. So what we do is we open it up so that you have a full hour of questions. So I'll be here for the entire time answering any trading questions that you may have. And to stop me from just waffling on about random stuff, please ask questions. Because otherwise, you're just going to hear me ramble on about the market. So we very much appreciate when people come in and ask questions, just because it kind of gives us, a little bit more time. Move my stop up here on JKS. So what you guys are seeing, what you guys kind of see here every time, I've obviously messed with some, I got to change some risk profile type things, but this is kind of where I do all my testing, is in the simulated environment before I move anything over to any of my live accounts or anything, for obvious reasons, right? You want to go from back testing to live testing to then forward testing. One thing I'm playing with now that's working pretty well is using symbol lists to trade gappers, because I've always been interested in, getting some sort of automated gap strategy built, but was unable to find something that kind of worked to my liking. So what I've been trying to do here is, so these gap downs I think have different risks than this. So what I've done is I've built these two strategies that are looking for resistance breaks near the pre-market and post-market, or sorry, the pre-market high and pre-market low, and then I'm trading them. I have risk based on stop loss, $1,000. Okay. And then what about gap up, gap down? No risk based on stop loss. I test things with 1,000 just because it's easily divisible. kind of thing, right? So what I've been doing is I've been then adding the symbols myself. So if we look at the ones that came here from gap down today and gap up, or these gap down are the only three here. These are tickers that I added myself, and I had the system then trade for me. So, right, WV, right, obviously if I held longer, that would be way better. This is, you know, the reason for testing is right here. MNOV, same kind of thing. Could have probably traded that better too, and YNDX, the same thing. So this is kind of my latest play, and that's from Holly, that one. This pullback long, pullback short, and this one are all AI strategies. This is another algo that I'm working on, and these two as well. So far today is only one. This is the first day I've actually started doing this, but so far working great. What about SPI? Yeesh. Yeah, I wouldn't touch that. Just not my thing. I'm more of a plan in advance and then execute when the time comes. So yeah, I'll just show you guys what I'm doing is I've got this. Oh, I keep forgetting those are pinned. I have to go through and unpin all of these and redo my layout. Keep forgetting that. So yeah, I have this layout in the morning that I open up as soon as the market is open, or as soon as the pre-market opens, and I just go through and I start clicking through whatever is the top gainers and losers. I do this, I rank them by standard deviation because I hate dollars and percentages because they're not relative in nature, right? Whereas a standard deviation is very relative in nature. So you can, you know, you can go through and you can say, hey, it's, you know, 10%, but, you know, if it's a $1 stock, then having it move 10% is not very important, right? And same with if you said, hey, this thing's gapping up $10. Well, you know, is it gapping up $10 and, you know, it's a $1,000 stock, right? Then that's not that big of a deal. So I rank them by standard deviation. Which, let me get my pen here. If you guys don't remember high school math, I guess, what, you know, you take the returns of an instrument, right? You graph it on the old, that's probably the worst bell curve that anyone's ever drawn. Something like that. I've got my coffee right there, so it stopped me from drawing it. That's what I'm going to blame it on. So you've got your bell curve, and then, you know, it's 66% or so take place in the first standard deviation, and then 97%, I believe, are in the two standard deviations. So basically, if you see anything with a standard deviation here in the morning more than 2 or 3, then you know it's an incredibly unusual gap for that stock. So from there, what I've done is I've said, okay, let me add these to symbol lists. So if I click on something like WVE this morning, when I clicked on it, it was kind of right in this area. And I was saying, okay, if we break pre-market low, I want to get short. So I just added that to a list. I, you know, read the news that you can find here and looked at all the, you know, everything that was interesting about it. Did all my research, said, okay, I want to short this if this breaks pre-market low, and then just added it to that symbol list. And then from there, I made a strategy that has these two here. So this is cross below pre-market, or cross below support, but at the low of the pre-market range. Sit out the first 5 minutes. I actually should have stopped trading here, and then I just changed it today, but I had it hold for a half hour, but now I'm going to have it selling at lunch. One your guys or my time is noon Eastern, because that's kind of where I see, right, take these trades, hold them till noon, sell them, and move on. And so now that I've set these up, I'm going to test these for the next few weeks, and you guys will see the performance every time I come in on, let me do this, gap up and down. So this would be today's performance. And you could see, as you kind of track forward, the skill that I have to build in this is being able to pick in the pre-market what ones have kind of the most potential and then let the system trade them. Yeah, and that's it. That's what I'm kind of working on here. It's an interesting little trading algo that I want to keep playing with. I like the concept of symbolist trading because it combines all of the benefits. Let me remove all these pinned windows while I'm thinking about it. It has all of the benefits of algo trading, in which it takes out your emotion. The trading plan is set. It's watching all the instruments for you, all of these things. But what it's doing, we're going to call this, this is right? Yeah, call this docked. But it removes the stats nonsense, right? It removes the need to back test. It removes the need to know kind of what you're doing and what you're talking about in the statistical realm of things, and just kind of rewards you for knowing what instruments are going to work. So I've been trading the same kind of philosophy for a while on more of longer term plays, and it's been working fantastically. But this is the first time I'm really trying to do it from a more intraday kind of scalping mindset. So if this works, then I've got a whole kind of myriad of things that I want to try. Always just looking to see if I can make technology help me out with what it is that I'm doing without kind of going from there. When is the official AI swing strategy become live? Still really no progress update on that one, unfortunately. We're dealing with some, I guess, server stuff that we have to take care of first. Get that up and running. Increase our backtest window a little bit, which I may be doing in another kind of subset of the program. And then going from there. But I am working on something. Should I tease it to you guys? What would Dan do? Dan would tease it to you guys, wouldn't it? And let me know what you think. And I'm only doing this because there's not very many people here. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Hold on, I'm doing something on one of my other screens here. TI score work, weekly rebalance. There's been a lot of sleepless nights on this, but there's still time, or still things to do before it gets anywhere close to you guys. All right. Hopefully everything loads in here in a second. Let me see if I can find this. You better not tell where I emailed it to. But yeah, I just want to show you guys that we're not talking out our butts, right? We are looking. Where was it? Right here. So I have to save this, right, to my desktop. And then I need to, working with virtual machines is complicated. So I'm a Mac nerd, but a pasted graphic. So here is, this says score here, but ignore that. This is more or less kind of what we're looking at, and this is the performance 2019 to date in backtest of our swings versus the market. As you can see there, it's a great little return. So can't really tell you much more than that, but it's just note that we are working. Things are taking longer than we thought, longer than we would like, but we are working. Myself, as someone who is primarily a swing trader now, I like to, I'm more interested in the swing trading time frame than the day trading. I think if you're looking for income, day trading is great. I think if you're looking for account growth, there is more money over time in the swing trading time frame, and that's just my own personal opinion and kind of what I've noticed. But it's much more possible to kind of let things kind of really crank for you over the long run. Speaking of swing trades, I see my CLDX is finally moving. I think I was talking about this with you guys last week, which would have been when was last Wednesday? The 16th? Yeah, right around in this area. And I was in on this one, kind of just looking at this potential big round here. I'm hoping that this rounded bottom just resolves upwards. If we can get a nice little pop into the 15s. What's the short float on this? It was pretty high. I think I remember 6.5%, and I might have just gotten teased because it broke out there right before, and then I was getting all set up and I broke the stream and everything. So looks like I missed that kind of pull back into, but so we are working. You can see there is progress, but I just wouldn't be satisfied with that amount of data, right? I want to go further. I want to do more, and I want to make sure things are really back tested and then forward tested after that, and all of these things before we start kind of really cranking in and marketing and selling it. So we'll be in the neighborhood of So it looks like everyone's getting back in. So I'll say it again. Thank you, Mike, for not telling Dan. Don't tell anyone. I hope that was a nice little tease for you guys, just to know that we are cranking away on this. I want to go back at least to 2018 and test it as well. And this might just be a ramble that I have about data points, right? Because I think it's let's go to a weekly chart, and things will make a little more sense why I'm so adamant, especially for swings, on back testing as long as you can, right? Because say you took 2019 and you just back tested a swing trading strategy. Well, 2019, other than some hiccups here and a hiccup here, was an incredibly bullish year. I like basically all the back tests I run from 2018 to date because we've got a couple kind of bearish markets in there, right? 2018, you can see not a whole lot happened, and you had some pretty dramatic crashes, right? 2019, you only had this kind of little pullback, and then it was off to the races. And then we know with 2020, we've got this as well. So I think if you combine 2018, 19, and 20, and you can get a strategy that works pretty well across this market, things make sense. You hear a lot of people out there saying, oh, we're so overdone, we've got to pull back, blah, blah, blah. But again, from 2000, what's the actual beginning of, 2018 was right here, right? So from 273 to 327, that's not an insane move in nearly 3 years, right? But if we bucket it, right, here's the beginning of 2018, and then here's the beginning of 2019, and then here's 2020. So you can see 2018, not a lot happened. 2019, not a lot happened until we had this breakout, and then, right, we all know what happened in 2020. So I want to make sure that it survives, any swing trading strategy we have survives this period here. And then once we get enough of those that Holly can kind of auto rotate through them, then that's kind of when things get really, really interesting to me for strategies. So that's just a bit of a rant with me about trading. How do you backtest all the way to 2019? I thought the backtest only went 64 days. It does in our official backtester, but what I'm doing is I'm pulling out strategies and then running them in a bit of a different way. But yeah, the current backtester that we have in there, we're working on additional ones, only go back 64 days. Now, if this was a day trading strategy, this doesn't matter, right? For a day trading strategy and for the Holly we use now, we're only concerned with what the most recent price action is, right? And the most recent price action being that last 64 days or 3/4 of trading. Now, if you're going for longer term holds, I do suggest looking out there. But, if we're simply doing some strategies like that have indicators and things like this, I can go and I can look at those and at least visually check certain things back further. And I've got some, as the guy who builds the AI, I have some tools that are not accessible to normal users, but we're planning on bringing all this out kind of as things go. But yeah, so I just, I've got toys. So again, guys, we are open here for another half hour for kind of any question you guys have about trade ideas. That's the main reason we're here, the main look that we're trying to do. I'm here scanning away for swing trades and not really finding a hell of a lot, to be perfectly honest. Let's look at this scan. Only the last day. There's a lot of interesting ones here. After this gap, though. Ugh. DHI is something that I was watching for a while here. Mike, how to run a back test with day trading with only 2 hours in the morning for trading. Yeah, so you'll just take whatever strategy you built, and if you say you've only got 2 hours in the morning for trading, then take your entry time here and cut it so it only enters in this first 2 hours. But if you're saying you want to be out of everything in that period of time, I would try to find something for the first hour and then just say I want to exit at, and you can just pick your time here, right? So for example, these gap trading strategies, the ones that I have here, I just have them entering any time throughout the day, but of course they won't enter after 1 because that's when I have my hold time set till 1, which again is noon Eastern time. And it's just because I've got my day kind of broken up so that I focus on trading and everything for that first period, and then we go back from there. So yeah, so just set those time frames. Again, whatever you want to trade, that's obviously going to be up to you and what your written and tested trading plan is. But yeah, I am taking a look here at DHI. It's put in this pullback, and now then it's got put in so it's got a low here and then a potential higher low here. So I'm going to see if it kind of breaks out of this after putting in this pullback here today. If we can get a push up, then I think things are going to be interesting there. What is DH Horton? That's energy, isn't it? Home building. Way off. No problem. Yeah. So you can either set time to hold, or like time until, right? There's two options on how to say, what you're gonna trade. You can say so for example, if you say I'm gonna only enter in the first hour like this, then you could say, well, I want to exit an hour after that. And what that means is that if a trade is entered right at 9:30, then at 10:30 it'd be exited, but the latest trade exit would go from 11:30 to 12:30. Whereas if you just said, I want to exit here at 12:30, then if it started at 10:30, then it'd be a 2-hour trade. And if it started at 11:30, it'd be a 1-hour trade. So I hope that makes sense. Again, I'm just choosing the 1 o'clock exit for these gap strategies because I just don't want to, I've got my day split where the morning is for trading, and then the afternoon is where I build things and, do YouTube videos and all that. And then the evening is when I scan for whatever's going to happen the next day. And also that's where I deal with my swings in that last half of the day. So will the AI swing strategy be included with the current AI? That's the plan, is that if you have a current AI sub, when we implement some sort of swing trading AI or swing trading system, you'll get that as well. Currently, again, that's kind of outside of my realm there, but that's the plan as it stands right now. So questions on moderate, conservative, aggressive mode. So the way you change is you go to your AI strategy tab, you right click, and when you edit the long trading instructions or short trading or re-entry or whatever, you see your options right here where you have conservative and moderate. We do not allow aggressive because aggressive, and this is your second question, is to explain them. So aggressive assumes no stop losses. It assumes you take the AI entry. Let's just open up an AI window here. You take the AI's entry and you just hold it until the end of the day, come kind of hell or high water. And personally, I wouldn't ever recommend that for someone. The reason, not automate it, right? The reason that we do it is because there are people out there who trade like that where they don't want to use the AI stops. They want to use the AI's entry. Like they would see a LAC get triggered in right here, and they want to see this, but the stop's up here. They may want to put the stop down here. They may want to put the stop above the pre-market high. They've developed their own strategy on how to exit trades, which again, we highly recommend. Now, one step down from that is moderate, and moderate basically says take the trade, put out the stop loss, and hold it until either it gets stopped out or the end of the day. That's it. Those two scenarios occur. So with that, what you get is a protective stop loss put right away. But this is actually the best one and what I recommend for people who are trying to auto trade. So, because for example, you can modify the symbols yourself. It tests better over the long run, but because there's no risk management other than your initial stop, there's no trailing stops, there's no profit targets or anything like that, it performs well, but the performance is going to be volatile on the way up. And if you don't like that, then we have conservative, which you can see here on LAC where this shaded area stops right here. That's where the AI decided to exit. So basically built into conservative, there's some profit-taking algorithms. Think of them as kind of advanced trailing stops. And where that doesn't perform as well, the equity curve is much smoother because it's taking these exits as you want, right? So what I suggest is that if people can sit and monitor it all day, which if you're running a bot, you should be able to monitor it, at least log in remotely and check on it, or something like that, is to trade in moderate mode and then, use your own stop. So for example, LAC, right? You may have put a stop here, you may have put one down here, right? Every time it bounces, maybe you put the stop above that bounce. You can, I think, do better than the AI kind of managing those exits for yourself for now, while we wait for technology to catch up. And here's a good example on JKS. This is a paper trading account, but I am doing the same thing in my live account where I'm still holding the full position of JKS because the AI bought it here. The initial stop was way down here, but then I looked at it and I said, I'm going to buy more so I can up my risk. So when this bought, I doubled up into the position. I just raised my stop up. And then every time we've had a pullback, I've just been raising my stop under that pullback. So my stop in my live account is kind of right in this area right here. So if we do a double top, we bounce down from there, then I'm out. It was a pretty decent trade. But it's this kind of management that I think is the key for that, right? So kind of same with ALB, right? I'll look at that and I'll see if this pulls back down. If this is just a bounce, then I'll put my stop over that bounce. And it's a way to kind of manage. If I was watching this, then my stop probably would have been here and I would have been stopped out. But it's just ways that you can kind of increase the trading that's going on there. So I hope that makes sense. Your last question there was about risk on, risk off. That was the old methodology. The logic was the same. The name was different, right? So anytime you hear risk off, just think of conservative mode. And anytime you think of risk on, think of moderate mode. After Holly places me in a trade, can I set an alert on that stock when a 5-minute candle completes below if long or above if short, the 20 SMA? You could. You would just need to do that with symbol lists. So, for example, if you created an alert window that had whatever you were looking for, right? So, so if you took, say the distance from the 20-day moving average right here, and you set this to be a really low number or a negative, and then had a 5-minute low, you could do that. And then all you would do is then create a symbol list. And we have one called My Holdings right here. And what My Holdings will do is it will auto-populate with symbols inside of your holding. So if you have that holding within Brokerage Plus, you can get alerted when things happen. So if you said, okay, I'm going to build an alert window that's going to have all the criteria I want to see for an exit, and I'm going to link that to the My Holdings top list, then I can be alerted when something happens, and you could set up an audio alert or something like that. So I hope that helps. But yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. You could also manually add them into holding lists. I have the same thing for my swing trades where I have new 2-day high and new 2-day lows trigger on anything that I have on swing. So CLDX, for example, I was alerted today when it broke yesterday's high, and say it broke yesterday's low, I would have been alerted on this one as well. And I have that kind of running on just the side of my monitor for all my swing trades, so I know, okay, look, this, CLDX made a new low, or XYZ stock made a new low and I'm in it. I obviously don't want that to happen. How do I turn a top list into an alert window? So we have a video for this. Let me get that will explain it as well. I'm going to post that in the chat, but I'll also explain it to you here just in case you want to grab it later. Top list to alert window. So here is a video that Steve did. So what you can do, let's grab a top list. So I want to grab this top list right here, this A table, and we're going to collaborate. So right click in the middle and then go down to collaborate and copy all. And then when I go new alert window, it should have, it didn't, hold on. I'm watching the video myself. Oh, yeah, okay. Gotcha, Steve. So yeah, so if I collaborate this, and then I'll copy it, and then I'll make a new alert window, and let me just assume that, I don't know, you want to see a new high, or but what you know, you need to put an alert in, whatever alert it is that you want to see from your top list. Let's just assume a new high for now. And then if we collaborate and we paste, then it will apply all of the filters that are in there now. So if I did that right, yeah, we should see that the score and the float and everything are in there. And then let me just change it back to a crossing above daily resistance. So now what I've done is I've turned Steve's A table into an alert window that will then only alert me if and when stocks that are in this, that meet this criteria to get in this alert window, actually trigger or break through daily resistance, which is what I was looking for it. So I hope that helps. But yeah, so copy it. And the other way you could do it, if you want to be kind of old school with it, is you can just take these filters and copy them over. But if you have a lot of filters, it's easier to do that collaborate and paste over. It will just save you a whack load of time. So if that makes sense, if you didn't get it, let me know and I can go through it again. Again, keep the questions coming. It definitely helps me out. And again, I apologize for the beginning of the. I accidentally kicked myself out by watching. Oh yeah, I have my browser defaulted to a new tab because I do that all the time. So yeah, this is the thing that I'm really excited for my trading for the next little bit, is this concept of this symbol list gap trading. I do well. I like my swing trading. I do well with it. I've got a couple automated ideas, that I like and that do well as well over the long run. But the way I look at it is the more kind of ideas I can put into place, the more ideas I can automate, the more kind of diversification of my trading income I can make. If you've got one strategy that's swing and one strategy that's gap and one strategy that's revision to the mean and one, then it's about balancing the risk of all of these different strategies to hope that in most, if not all, types of situations that something good will occur, right? That you will have a good day regardless of what it is that you're looking for there. which again I think is very important. And a lot of people don't really do a lot of, where they're they're focused more on each individual trade and not the entirety of their incomes and what they do, and how to make sure that they're diversified in such a way that you're kind of going from there. Is there any plan on adding a replay function? Not at this time. To be honest, I get the benefit if you're trying to learn to trade live. Our focus is more on idea generation, and our focus is more on automation going forward. We're going to be very big into the automated style of trading, like the symbolist style. If this is something that is good for me and is good for other people, then it's something that we may implement a little bit more user-friendly like into the system, wrap some AI components to it too. But it's just more of our focus. There are places you can go for replay functions, and again, I get the concept. It's a way to replay the day as if you were watching a fighter or something like that, to try to get ready for. Just not something that we're super. It's just not on the list of things that we're doing, right? The next big thing that we're kind of really focusing on is a lot of gamification of the simulator, trying to get people so they can do it live. Away we go. Michael, can you share your config settings or scanner for the standard deviation gap scanner you use on your symbolist? Sure. So let me just load up this channel. Yes. So I did take those pinned windows off, which will good, but I can save both of these and share them to you. Save up gappers, down gappers, save and share to cloud. So I'll go through the settings with you just to let you know what they're like too, but essentially they're pretty bare bones. I put the EPS filters in to make sure I don't get ETFs. I want the change from the open on the gap side to be 0.1, and I want 30,000 shares done today. Sorry, getting the hiccups here. The reason for that is because I'm looking at it pre-market, right? If I don't want to see a gap if it's only on 1,000 shares. I don't want to see a gap down if it's only on 1,000 shares. That might be good for some people, not for others. So that's why I have that in there. And then for columns, I just sort by right here, standard deviation. So it's just a filter we have, and it's just what is the stock doing versus what does the stock normally do. And then I have it sorted by that. I go through, pretty much everything you can see on the screen. I go through and I just kind of take a look and say, is there a good pre-market range? So WVE would be a perfect example, even though, right, shorted here and covered here. Obviously need to give this way more time. But when I looked at this in the morning, it was kind of in this area right here. So I looked at it and I said, okay, well, it's below yesterday's pre-market range. Obviously, terrible news came out. It's sitting so that, it breaks the low of this range. I think it could continue. I looked at the daily chart. Anytime that you get a gap that completely reverses a trend like this, it becomes more interesting to me. Again, I'm new to this particular way of trading gaps. I made a living back in the day, buying and selling the break of these things. Back in the day, I probably would have shorted here and been out a bunch here, and I would have shorted again here and been out a bunch here, kind of thing. But anytime it destroys this gap, the way I look at it psychologically is that everybody who was buying in this area is now wrong and in pain. So I think there's more of a chance it can go down from here. So then I would add that to the list. And then if it broke through this pre-market low here, like it did, the robot would take a short for me. And if it didn't, then I don't need to watch it, which is the main thing that I like to do, because I know for myself, if I'm scanning intraday, I'm going to be making trades that I probably shouldn't. So I like to set everything up and sit back and have my coffee and let the robots take care of it for me. Question from Dave. Traderz seems to be more of a day trading platform. I'm trying swing trade in my IRA. Holly doesn't give me that now. I know TI is working on a swing trading, but what to do till it's live? Well, what you should be doing is you should be coming up with your own swing trading strategy and have trade ideas trade that for you. That's what I do. I'm Dave. I am a swing trader mostly. I'd say 90% of my trading and 90% of my trading income now comes from swing trading. I talk about how I use swing trading or trade ideas for swing trading all the time. Let me shamelessly plug my own YouTube channel here, as I do. Right here, I do a weekly video where I talk about the stocks I found from swing trading. But of course, even if we have an AI that is into swing trading, you should come up with your own trading strategy, of course, right? You wouldn't, open a restaurant without a plan. So you should have a plan for your swing trading, and then see how trade ideas can help you with that. So for example, I automate all of my swing trading entries. I have algos in which I run that auto trade things. And again, before people ask, no, I can't share this one. It's got a whole bunch of customs in it. But I have strategies like this. It's not doing the best right now, but this is based on a 4-day hold, I think, right now. Let me test that. Advanced 2 days, 3-day hold on this one. But yeah, I developed my own strategies. Oh, wow, that's you. Oh, geez, that's me. I'm that random guy on the internet. But yeah, so you can come up with your own trading, your own swing trading strategies. You can automate something like this fully if you want it. 100 shares on each of these. You'd only need 64,000 in buying power, and projected return is 40%. So again, we highly encourage Holly as a tool, right? Yes, you can auto trade it and all of that, but it should be your journey. The way I always think about it, like, what if XYZ didn't exist tomorrow, right? Like, what if the people who are in a trading room, like, what if that guy closes down his trading room, right? What if, the AI stops doing well? These type of things. So, Traderz is definitely not just for day trading, for sure. Burt Reynolds. Geez, that's a reference there, Mike. But yeah, in the meantime, I would, while you're waiting for the swing trading AI, is come up with your own types of strategies. Like, for example, this is one of my favorite scans right here, and this one I can share. And basically what it's doing on the daily chart, it's coming up with stocks that have these kind of rounded type bottom looks. Now, they don't all look great like this, but this is a discretionary style in which I take a look and I say, okay, well, what's going on here? Play, I'm super mad about. For the people who've been here, right? I bought play right here, and then I got a little bit of money as it broke up, and then I got out the rest as it came back, and then it rocketed. It looks like it's gonna try to go again. But yeah, come up with your own style. Very soon we're going to update our swing trading channel, which I need to remember to do. And we're going to include some more of these ideas in there as well. Not sure if I mentioned this, but how do I turn on auto trading? I'm going to give you a big video for that yours truly did. So I'm biased, but it really, really helps because it's a bit of a setup process. So, step one is, do you have a Interactive Brokers account? And are you paying Interactive Brokers every single month out of your own pocket for their data? If you don't have both of those, then you cannot swing trade yet. So get those sorted, get your Interactive Brokers account going, and get the data plan. I cannot stress enough that if your data plan is not up to date, nothing will work and everything will break, and you'll have a bad time. So get your data plan, get your Interactive Brokers account going, follow that video, and if you have any questions, just pop on back. It's a nice little, there's segments. If you go to the description of that video, there's segments that say, at this timestamp I talk about this, at this timestamp I talk about this. So it starts off with our simulator if you want to play with that for a bit, and then it goes into how to set up Interactive Brokers, and then how to set up your own strategies, and how to set up the AI. Covers the whole thing there. Steve mentioned he likes the look of play. Yeah, I do too. I don't know, I'm just butthurt, I guess is the best term, right? Because again, I bought play right here at like 1350, I want to call it. I was out a bunch at 16. I felt like a genius, and then it came back to 1350, and it got me on the rest, like almost to the tick, and then exploded to $20. So the reason I like it so much is if you scroll down here to the short float, it's 35%, right? That's a pretty gnarly short float right there. So it's one of those things. I like it. I liked it before. It's not like it cost me money before, but it was like, it pulled and it hit my stop. It was one of those things that if I was one of those people who actually thought that they cared about our stops, right? Like the market makers got me, one of those tinfoil hat guys, that would have been time where I would have probably agreed that it was tinfoil hat time with those things. But yeah, it just got me. So it might get me again. Right now, I'm kind of looking at Kodak. I got a bunch of Kodak. I think I may have been on with you guys in this area. I got out a bunch up here, and then I'm looking to see if we can dig in and still hold this gap, maybe tomorrow, and break back over 10. I may purchase back in what I sold out up here. Again, if we just come back down and get into the gap, then I'm out. And I do have a good price in the 8s, in the low 8s, out a bunch in the 12s. And then I'm going to see if I can reload into the 10s and then maybe get back out in the 12s, that kind of thing, right? Thoughts on TGB? Well, one of Steve's faves. He's big into the miners right now, and I'm not really... Yeah, I look at that, and that's just overdone for me personally, right? Steve loves these sharp pullbacks and buying into them. For me, I'm more of a, things like CLDX. I like to play off bases. CLDX. Like this is, we're moving here. So this is my current swing that I'm in, and I've been in since I think this area here. What's my actual 1191 is my fill. So in here, I think as it broke out here. So I like bases, right? I like bases like Kodak. Again, I like pullbacks, or bases in some way, but it's a different away we go. How do I copy the cloud links you posted above? So if you just copy, right click and click copy link, right? So just right click in the chat, click copy link. And then if you go file, load from cloud, sometimes it populates in this box right down here. Sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, you just want to paste manually. Right, and then from there, that's for the live chat, and then you just hit load, and it will load it up, right? But yeah, TGB, just not my thing, but it's one of those that, like, it's to each their own, Barry has a trading style that I couldn't stomach of buying momentum as it's going, that kind of thing. Not to say it's a bad strategy, it works for him. It's just not something that I would be super interested in myself. I think of trading as kind of like a diet, right? I could give you the optimal diet. There is no optimal way to trade, but say there was, I could give you that, right? Just like I could give you the optimal diet of chicken, broccoli, and brown rice 3 times on repeat. You know, the people are going to hit it differently, right? People are going to either follow it or not follow it, or try to cheat here, try to cheat there. That's why it's more important, I think, that you find whatever works for you and whatever makes sense to you. So like a diet, you'll stick with it. Barry's idea of swing trading is to hold a stock over his break. Yeah. Well, and that's, again, it's to each their own, right? I'm to the point where, you know, I like the fact that I can swing trade, because I bought Kodak here as it kind of held this gap, and you know, you had a great run for it, but then if it gapped, great, away we go. IPOB. Yeesh. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Social Capital Holdings. Oh, it's one of those merger. Is it like a SPAC? One of those SPAC things? Those things weird me out. What a move. That's crazy. All right, guys, enough time for maybe another question. I see Mike's already given me the hook. Mike C saying, take care. Or maybe you're leaving. I don't know. I thought maybe you're kicking me off. But yeah, any more questions before I vanish? Let me know. Opinion on Vail making it 211. Again, my opinion every time is going to be, what does your trading plan say? And if your answer to that in your head was, well, I don't have a written trading plan, well, then you're gambling and stop. Now, this getting to 11, I don't like, what technical pattern are you playing off of? I don't know. Maybe. Could it? I guess. It's not a very, you know, that's a big distance for that stock. Like, what's the ATR on that? Do we have any? Do I have that on my? I should. Average. Where is it? True range. Show column. So your ATR is 43 cents. So you basically want it to move another ATR today. Could. I don't know. Again, I always just, what's your trading plan? What was your strategy? What was your target? What was your stop loss? What was the plan when you got into the trade? But could it? Yes. Could it do anything? Yes. Could it go to 0 today? Certainly. I think another 1 ATR move today would be a lot to ask for, especially on a gap down. It's got a lot of prior support, used to be resistance right there. Keep pushing on the swing trading strategy. I will, for sure. That's what I do. I work on it, but at the same time, right, you should have your own strategy as well. You should work on your own trading strategy, right? You can automate that. You can back test it. You can play with that kind of stuff. We're going to be working here as well, but work on the other one. Work on your own side too. FYI, interact with brokers. You'll need to make a deposit before you can get the market data subscription with them. I think so, yeah. If you don't have a market data subscription with them and you don't have an account and you still want to play, we have our own sim, and that's included in the video I sent. So if you're just looking to paper trade and you don't want an IB account, you can do that with us, and I would suggest it. But I will still be definitely working on the swing trading side of things. But again, I think that every trader has to come up with their own trading plan as well. So make sure you're not waiting for someone else to build a trading plan for you. All right, so I am finally getting the hook from Barry, so I'm going to take off for the day and talk to you guys later. So everybody, trade safe out there, and over everything, obviously protect your capital.
All right, guys, sorry about that. So I'll be doing my video right now. Okay, thank you. Okay, guys. So I'll be doing my video right now. So doing my video back around 125, probably sooner, just in case. So I have some technical problems, and I will put the link for my video. You can sign up for them if you'd like. So I've put my homepage link in there, and all you have to do is just click on the link, and you will be brought to right there. Watch the daily market recap videos. Okay, you can sign up for them right there. Meanwhile, I will put myself on mute in both feeds. All right, guys, I'm back. Oh, wow. All right. Let's see. Is the FE? Did it find? Wow, what a nice bounce actually for the FE. Just watching this one. This reel pointed it out. Some was it fraud allegations or something? Well, I had to be over at 11.28, $4 ago, in 6 minutes, less than 6 minutes. And before anybody starts talking about a short squeeze, I mean 0.17% is short. Okay, so this is just mania. Ah, coconut. Okay, so this is the pattern recognition we have. I don't use any of them, so I honestly have no idea how well they would work, but this is the sort of pattern recognition that we have. If you do a search, and I'm talking to somebody in the YouTube feed, so geometric patterns, okay, so you can scan bull flags. I don't there's nothing that's going to be called a bull flag here. I think Andy has something that he says might be a little bit close. Andy's one of the traders. I don't have that scan. But here are the geometric patterns that we have. If you just, and here are the, let's see, candle patterns. But you're looking more for the geometric patterns. So triangles, okay. Blue sky breakouts, well, I mean, I don't know what you mean by that exactly. If you're talking about something that has no, if you're looking left on a daily chart and the next high looking left is way above it, not really. I mean, a lot of it is we do have a consolidation filter that you can maybe consolidate over 5 or 6 days and check them out and just to sort of see, well, okay, if they did break out, what sort of room do they have? Oh man, you're asking me on the BBY yesterday. But you got to remember BBY yesterday was a bit of a challenge. I mean, I shorted it on a break, the 2 minute breaking down below the 2 minute, the 8 EMA breaking down below the 20 SMA and the 2 minute chart. That was the initial short. So it was nothing to do. These were crosses that I was taking that trade on. But just because a stock is way up, listen. I mean, perfect example is this stupid one, the SPY. I mean, just because a stock is way up, it was way up here. Remember, this is a dollar stock right here. It's at 3, so it's 300%, 350%. Can't go up any further, can it? You know, it's a matter of looking for little patterns. Okay, well, we do have a lifetime alert then. We do have a lifetime, you know, I've got right there, position and lifetime range. So we do have a lifetime filter. You can just put, so if you're watching, you know, right click and I can just type in life. I think it's going to be lifetime. Yeah, position and lifetime range as an example. So if you added the filter, if you put 100% right here, or say 98%, that would be, you know, within, well, if you put 100%, it'd be basic at its lifetime high. Okay. Yeah, so Dom, you know you can't. Oh, you can. I hope you're not asking me that question because I mean, of course, I can't give you any advice like that. I get people wanting to give their opinions on it, but you know, I can't give it. I can't give you an opinion on that, or say yes, it is a good time, and will 23 hold? Yeah. Okay. Always have to just make sure. That's all. So did you see that coconut? You just have to use the position and lifetime range. I've never heard that term, a blue sky breakout. I mean, I know what blue sky. I know what blue sky is, but I don't. I never heard it as being referred to the fact that a stock has to be an all-time high. I look at a blue sky meaning just it has a lot of room. Now I can give you a top list. Now this is not. It's not necessarily going to be a bull flag, okay? But I can give you a top list that it might be of interest to you. What it's doing, it's showing strong stocks that have pulled back, but they're still strong. Strong in that they're still up, you know, a certain percentage. I don't know if you'd be interested in that. Okay. I just gotta figure out what I called it. Biggest pullbacks. Okay. Okay, there you go. Biggest pullbacks on winners. So now, I mean, obviously this is not what you want to see, but I mean, you'd have to cycle through them. And this is a little bit late in the day too, but there. I mean, maybe something like that. I mean, but you'd have to just look at the filters that I've got in place here. Um, yeah, I mean, you can just look at the filters and you can make adjustments if you want. The stock was down in the last 30 minutes, but it's still up 3%, from the yesterday's close. So I mean, these are in theory strong stocks that are pulling back a bit. All right, guys, I want to draw your attention to MNOV. Now, I don't often do this, but I will say this, is that if you have the AI, take a look at the potential re-entry price. Now, MNOV got stopped out, but look at what the re-entry price is. You should have the re-entry price column. If you don't, you should add it. It's getting very close. Remember, this was a very strong stock in the pre-market, all the way up to almost $8, $7.80. So I mean, it has room to run if it wants to, and it's already kind of coming off the bottom here. Yeah, well, all bets are off on the SPI because I mean, with the low float it had and just the craziness of it. I mean, you just have to be careful. Have to take fewer shares, really, fewer shares and kind of wider stops. But I mean, anything can happen. The rug could have been pulled on that one so many times. It just wasn't. It's yeah. I mean, it looks awful at the end if you're in something and you get right. I got $2 on it. Then it puts on another 7. There's nothing that's it's if you have a lot of, especially if you have too many shares, you can't hold on to something like this. In this could have just as easily fallen a lot instead of done the move it did. There's really no. It's not like this news is. I could be completely wrong. Maybe it's going to be $30 tomorrow, but I think sanity has to prevail at some point. I think the only lucky thing about this one is that for many of us, it's not shortable, so there's no downward pressure on the shorts or people piling into shorting it. You drive yourself crazy though, trying to, when you look at this, something like that, and you think, oh man, I had some here and I got rid of it, because I took $1 or $2 and it's up. I mean, you're just driving yourself crazy. Yeah, I mean, Kodak did the same ridiculous thing. Speaking of which, Well, I guess keep an eye on this Sun W. I mean, the Sun W, somebody in fact said that maybe it'll do like a, I mean, there's SPI again. So yeah, the other, what's NIO doing? The other, let's take a look at the other electric. Not really, not really much. Solo is another one. I think Real just mentioned it. Solo is another one. They're the Vancouver company. So we have now, yeah, so this has now traded the flow 31 times. 279 million shares, so you divide 8.4 into that, and you get about 31. So it's turned the float over 31 times. I don't know if that's a record. I think the amazing thing for me is that this I believe, yeah, this only got halted once today. SPI only got halted once. Volatility for volatility. Yeah, I mean, you just have to remember, data point, and everybody else. These things that are like this with the low floats, the rug could get pulled at any second. You know, the minute the buying frenzy stops, I mean, it can go down just as quickly. You know, it just hasn't really happened yet. You know, I mean, you had a pullback there, nothing really there. You know, really have had no huge pullback. Was it halted twice? See, I only see one. I only see one halt. So maybe it just didn't factor in here. I see the halt at 11:17. Came back at 11:22. And that's the only halt I see from our halts resumes anyway. Maybe it just didn't appear. Well, and interesting on my IB, it shows there was the halt there, but no other halt afterwards. Now, before anybody asks, well, how come the AI didn't pick this one up, the SPI? It's possible. So one of the strategies that we have is called Mighty Mouse. But if you notice here, Mighty Mouse did not make the cut. Okay, Mighty Mouse did not make the cut based on the optimization which happened overnight, last night. Okay, so Mighty Mouse does look for stocks under $5. Now, it doesn't absolutely mean that it would have triggered this one. You know, other filters have to be met. It's just not a price. So before you ask, that is the reason. Boy, this Sun W could get interesting. I mean, it's another low float, 16 million in the float. Yeah, but it has some room to the 130 mark. Look at the volume for it. It's traded the float, 22 million, 16 million in the float. It'll probably trade at least 1.5 times, maybe by the end of the day, double. Boy, one of my all-time favorite stocks, not to trade. I just find it too whippy, but there's Digital Ally, DGLY. Putting in a little bit of a pop here. Every time you think this thing is really going to start to run, it just does this. Until it doesn't. Okay, one moment, please. Well, I guess 20 is imminent. Here's your news, guys. Launches new electric vehicle company subsidiary. Edison Future, to design and develop electric vehicles. That is the news. Are you kidding, Mario? Of course, okay. No, we haven't had such a thing in a while. You know, you're right. Still not halted again. I'll bet. I mean, I don't even want to look, but you know, again, it's not. Is it halted? No, it's not halted. I thought it just stuck. Oh well, it's kind of fun to have a distraction like this every once in a while. You know, I jokingly said it might get to 20 and then stop. Oh, I didn't say it. I said it in my head. I said it. I'm thinking, wow, this might get to 20 and then finally stop. Oh, SU and W is getting a little bit frisky. Well, that's not an energy stock, Neil. That's a well, call it an electric vehicle play. Unless you're lumping energy into that. I'm surprised though that the other. Just trying to look at here. Okay, now we're halted. Now with this is well. I don't know if it's somebody said it was halted before or the second time. This is the second halt that I see. Now this is still a volatility halt. Okay, it is not a news halt. Hmm. Oh, that's why. Well, the trick will be tomorrow. If one of these little guys says something similar. Give me a moment, please. No, it's son of a gun. Sorry about that. I've been talking about SUNW, guys. Sorry about that. Uh, I was on mute, yes. Don't remember why. So I was talking about SUNW, and who was it? I can't remember who it was who mentioned it hours ago. Said, you know what? Watch it because it could do like a mini SPI. Well, I mean, yeah, this is. Guys, SUNW, I mean, obviously I'm sorry about that. I was on mute. How do you do a search? I should know this. This is what I was asking. How do you do a search for a symbol in the room? I want to find out who that was that mentioned SUNW a long, 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 long time ago. And this would have been when it was under $1. No, guys, even PEC, I don't know what they do. Electric power generation, electric, anything with electric in the name. Electric power generation, low, low float. What could this one do? Let's just pop right back up. Yeah, but it wasn't you. Well, but somebody this morning said watch SNU, watch SunW based on the SPI move. So this was this morning. This was no, it wasn't me. Yeah, right. Uh, was it me? Okay, I'll take the credit for it. No, I cannot take the credit for it. Somebody, I can't remember who it was. Ah, it was a man. Amen. Thank you. How did you do that search? This is crazy. I should know how to do this. How did you do the search? Okay. Okay. You'll be give you free admission to the trading room for the next year. But yeah, I do remember that now. Yeah, Sun W Heat or Cheat Sympathy played at SPI, and that was back at 8:19 a.m. Here's my sprocket. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But I mean, that was now was that 8:19? Was that 8:19? What time zone? Oh, I see. Okay, because I opened the room at 9, so that's obviously not Eastern time. All right, so traded. So I want to see if this takes this back. I know I had an alert here at $4 for it, and the reason would have been because the high, going back here, you have to see the high right there was $4 or something right on that opening handle. So it had to hit $4 before I got the alert here. But I mean, there was the very first alert for it right here at $4, and it's a okay. Now it's halted again. And believe it or not, it's stacking up at 40. Well, it's still stacking up the same. So Martin. uh, okay, guys, this is just a little pullback. I am really, I'm mini excited about this one. Mini. It still has a little bit of room to the 150 mark, the Sun W. I mean, to be really colloquial, it ain't going to be a spy, but it's not a bad little 30% move. Yeah, it's just EV news. Yes, Marcus. Yes. Do a Google search. You'll see what the news is. What what they released pre-market. See, this is another one that is. This is another one that's not chartable. Okay, there's the AC. Excuse me, ACIU. It's been a little choppy. ACIU has been a little choppy, but it's now down below 4 or 5 again. But it's been kind of choppy. Okay, we're getting close to maybe some resistance for the SUNW. Yeah, the SUNW. Right there, guys. There, if you're in this, that level right there. Yeah, I do remember. But I would have had a stop. So, I mean, not like I would have been short at oh my. Well, okay, I've just taken some out, guys, in case it cannot get through this little lever right there, 158 for the Sun W. But I think that there are the you know who's may have gotten hold of this one too. Pola is another one, guys. What does it say? Electric, yeah, other motor vehicle. Look at this one, Pola. Look at the volume coming in. Virus plays, who cares? Electric vehicles, let's go. And through the 200-day moving average, Pola, Pola. Days like this, I feel like I'm calling a horse race. SBI rounding the corner. Yeah, of course, Coconut. We can scan the pre-market, of course. Of course. Are you a subscriber? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said of course. Oh, I'm not, I'm sorry. I haven't even looked at the SPY. Yeah. The bottom line is yes. Trade ideas can scan the pre-market. Yes. Pola. Sun W. Oh man. Okay, you're not a subscriber. Okay, so the answer is yes. The trade idea is yes. Scan Supreme Market. Now that's where we get a lot of our ideas from. You know, it's funny. I'm surprised that Blink hasn't gone crazy. And there's WKHS. It's not going crazy either. Sure, why not? 45, why not? I put an alert here. 42.19 blew right through it. SPI. I mean, this is only up 116%. It's oh man, what a day! What a day! Amen. Are you in the room? I wish I were doing my video over again because that was a heck of a spot early on. Maybe. And there's another halt for, oh, now we're halted on the way down. SPI, look at this. What a drop, 46 down to 33. Yeah, meanwhile, SPY is dumping today, but, it's hard to focus on that, isn't it? I'm going to be very, 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 very quick on the exit here, probably, on the Sun W. Sure, I was talking about this before I was on mute. I accidentally put myself on mute. Well, I don't see that it's suspended. I just see a circuit breaker still. I don't see any news that it's been suspended. Okay. All right. Mine just says volatility still. And IB says on circuit breaker. So far, I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I mean, if all right, so I've got to be very quick on the Sun W. It's going to, if it's a 5 minute, it'll be opening in 47. Let's see, another 20 seconds. Another 20 seconds. Yeah, I know, but I've got a tremendous percentage wins right now. I'm not going to jeopardize it. Okay, I've just taken most off. If it wants to run without me, that's great. No, there's no. I'm sure there's no news on Pola. I think it's just a sympathy play. You know, it says electric vehicle, so it's a sympathy play. Whew, I feel like I've been trading a week today. Or as good old Dusty used to say, quite a week today. Yeah, Craig, another one. Yes, yes, yes. Look at the run that Craig had. Meanwhile, like somebody said, look at the spy. Both spies are amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's a low a couple of days ago. I don't know. I mean, if it takes that out, yeah, I don't know. Well, I guarantee. Look, I mean, it's obviously it is coming. I mean, it's here, kind of. But people 50 years from now, looking at a movie from 50 years today, they're going to wonder what would all those cars doing, stopping at those places and sticking something in their car. What was that all about? Well, they don't make anything yet. They just said that they want to get into the business. they uh, they don't make anything yet. The news is real in that they released it and they said that that's what they want to do. Meanwhile, back in the world of where things are only down 27%, ACB continues its march downwards. Well, how'd you do that, Joanne? It was not in the Holly AI this morning. It was not a Holly alert. Really? Here are the alerts. No spy there. No. You would have to do a screenshot for me to show me that, but spy was not there. In fact, I was mentioning people. I was going to anticipate, well, why didn't it show up? And I said that the only way it would have shown up more than likely is if the Mighty Mouse had made the cut, because that specializes in stocks less than $5. Hey, well, you're say how right you're going to be about the SUNW. I mean, I'm out of it. I'm out of it. I'm happy to be out of it. The next high looking left is $1.80. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know, Joanne. It definitely. In fact, let me just take a look to see if it was ever. Okay, so I mean, way back here. You're not talking about these buy flags you see. I mean, this was way, 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 way back here. It wasn't in there. And I'm not the only one saying that. There are other people saying the same thing. Believe me, we would love to have had Spy. Do you have a screenshot? Do a history. You can do a history, or not history. I mean, just make sure. I mean, another one, guys. I mean, we're starting to throw darts here, but here's another little one. DPW, electronic component. Well, Joanne, if it was your own Holly, then we'll subscribe to your Holly version, okay? Well, if you set up a strategy of your own, that's not, it's not AI, it's not Holly, of course. Yeah, maybe you're just confusing something because it's setting up your own strategy has got nothing to do with the AI. Remember, the I mean, these are the alerts. They happen. You load the window, and that's all there is to it. Now look at MOS finally starting to turn down. I'm just not interested now. Look at the SPY. Yikes. Wow. One, two, three, four, five, six. There's an hour and a half straight down. Yeah, Jake wants your strategy. Yeah. It should start 30 seconds past 2:19. Okay. Meanwhile, darn, I wanted to short this one earlier. MNOV. I just kind of missed it. So here we go. So if this should open 2:19 plus 30 seconds. What do we now? 2:18. So a little over a minute. Just for you, I'll keep this. Put it right there. Yeah, I hear you, Marcus, but we just trade them on the day and move on. It's just math. Believe it or not, look at Pola. It is just math. It's a certain percentage in a certain period of time, and even though it looked like it should have, but Sun W was a lot cheaper, so the percentage Look at Pola. Look at Pola. The pullback. Why did that happen? Okay, there it is. So SUNW just opened. Well, you were right. I was wrong, stealth mode. I mean, I just thought that this resistance might be not there, but right around here was going to be a little too much. No, no, I can't buy now. Where is Amen? I wish I could do my video over again. I would give him a huge shout out. Halt it again, yes. Yeah, well, this is now more than a, yeah, this is, if you're in this one, this is the troubling halt, of course. I still don't see, I still don't see the news that it's halted like an SEC halt. Still just see the circuit breaker halt, but obviously, I mean, it's now way over 5 minutes. You can't in the room, unfortunately. Look at Pola. Oh, and CBAT. Okay, now watch CBAT here. I mean, this is a real cheap one. Is this China? No, it's yeah, it is China. I thought it said Dallas, China. This is China. CBAT is China. And look left, 123, fairly low float. No, I don't have Weibo. Oh, okay, it's in the China channel, fine. But that's not Holly. Why would you think that was Holly? I mean, these are all the, we've got a ton of different channels in here. That's the China channel. The AI is just this, just this. Strategy trades all. That's what the AI is. Guys, I can't tell you to. I'm not going to tell. I don't tell you to take anything, but got to do these on your own. I mean, these are just emotional trades right now. Anything that to do with batteries, EV. Well, I don't know if it's going to be suspended for the rest of the day. I have no idea. Yeah, I can't answer that. Canadian, not subject to those rules, so I have no idea. Maybe somebody else. I certainly can't give you any advice like that. Yeah, I don't have it listed as a. I still don't have it listed as a like a news halt or something like that. Yeah, stealth mode. I don't know. Okay, somebody else. I know you're answering the question in a general way. Maybe somebody can help him. I have no idea. Well, again, take your pick, Pola or Sun W. Okay, guys, I'm going to continue to watch this CBAT in case it gets frisky. There we go. There's the next halt. Yeah, we just don't talk about how much, how many trade or how much you've got. Okay. Just irrational exuberance, Ocean Zulu. Okay, power distribution, especially transformers, PPSI, low float, Pioneer. Look at this one. They're coming out of the woodwork. Yeah, I didn't take Pola, unfortunately. Guy, well, right. You know what? If you can't have fun sometimes doing this, oh my goodness, guys. I mean, this is one of those days, just one of those days where you have to hop on these things. You know, risky, 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 but it's all emotional now. I'm just looking, look at this PPSI. I mean, I just, anything with, you know, electric, distribution, specialty transformation, EV, is just going absolutely crazy right now. Heck, let's go to 6 o'clock tonight. Heck with stopping at 3. Okay. Oh boy. WWR, I'm sure, is another one. No, Westwater Resources. Well, it doesn't fit into the same category. Look at CBAT, guys. Boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy. No idea when it's opening. There's another one that says power in the name. I don't know what. Oh, you know, power in the name. OP. Oh, wow. Holy smokes, guys. This has been, I mean, no, Apola is, well, I don't know if it's suspended. I mean, it's halted. And SUNW is now alive and kicking. Even Peck, I saw Peck. Wasn't Peck's at, it's going so quickly. Peck is at 5. Jeez. No, it's not suspended. It's trading. It got unhalted, but it did drop. Okay, well, I said the same thing about the Sun W. You know, when it got halted, and I said I was going to be very quick on the trigger to get out, so I'm going to have to watch this one. It says 150 right now. 233.04 just got halted. OPTT just resumed. Oh yeah, there's no question. I mean, the SPI was the catalyst, as crazy as it sounds. Time is at 2:34. I will be shutting at 3, guys. I was kind of kidding. I've got the webinar that I help out on at 5, so it's my long day. Any questions? You want to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas with all the money you just made if you're just in this room? Yeah, as a sort of an onlooker. All right, so here it is. Click on my homepage link right there, Barry's homepage right there, and get trade ideas. 15% off. The promo code was on the previous screen. $22.68 a year or $1,068 a year, premium versus standard. The difference is the AI. So if you're taking our premium service, it's because you want the AI. Some nice alerts today: ACB, LAC, 11%, 9%, 7%, 3%, ALB. Don't have to start off with an annual plan. You can start off monthly. TPW. Premium is $228. Standard is $118. Just wait. I just have to be there. Okay, just have to watch the CBAT when it opens. And it doesn't look like it's going to be a good open. I've traded some out, so I'm not going to get hurt or anything, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a good open. It says 140, 140 right now. All right, you don't have to start off with an annual plan. You can have a standard plan. Try us out for a month. Standard, 118, less than 15%. Premium, 228, less than 15%. As always, if you want to upgrade at any time, you can do it, and we'll honor that 15% promo code. Some other good links on my homepage. My daily recap right there. Trade of the week. Lots of great education right there. 20 lessons in 20 days. Daily support sessions in the YouTube feed from 12 to 1. Of course, their trading room. Daily webinars. Sign up. This is the one that I attend today. It's the Q&A with Dan and Brad, co-founders of Trade Ideas. It's the one I attend. Educational videos. So a lot of good links from my homepage. There I look. Well, hopefully nobody chased it and got nailed here. All right, CBAT is going to open, let's see, 233, 238. Time is it? So it should open in about a little over 15 seconds. Slipping Jimmy, I don't even know what I said. And Peck is halted for volatility. Oh, on the way down. All right. So that was not, as I say, that was not the good. So I'm all out. Basically, thank goodness I took some out here. So this is just a little bit above where I bought it for the CBAT. And that's what can happen, guys. I mean, that is exactly what can happen. That's why you cannot, walk away from your computer. So now I can breathe. Well, to some extent, I'll agree, Keith. But I mean, sometimes you just got to strike. I mean, you just don't walk. You just can't walk away from your computer. That's all. I don't know about that, John, but it was fun. Take a breath. Okay, listen, guys. I'm completely out of my my swing of IPOB. Okay, as it was getting down close to 16, I decided I can always get back in, but I'm all out of my iPod, my 2 day swing. Can always get back in. Just didn't really like this action here as it was starting to drift down. So still, happy. That's funny, real. Your last sentence. Okay, I'll text it. You mean so? Let me understand. I'll talk to you. I mean, are you talking about when it gets up to that level, you've never seen it move higher, and it basically drops? So, what time frame are you concentrating on? It's easy enough for me to do that with the other 2 minutes. Okay, okay. Probably don't get too many alerts, which is fine. You probably don't get too many occurrences, right? Which is fine. Let me just switch it. I'm going to see if I get the same thing. Okay, let me just see. Uh, and that's fine. I mean, the fewer the better, especially if they're kind of working. Let me just. I want to make the change myself on that time frame and see what happens. See if I'm seeing the same thing. Hmm. I might have different numbers in because I'm not seeing it touching on at like 6 for Pola as an example in the 2 minute. Now maybe earlier it did. Maybe I can get an equivalent. Maybe I'll. Okay, so I changed mine to 5. And so that maybe that'll be the equivalent to your 6. I don't know. I'll certainly watch it tomorrow. How about PPSI? PPSI. Okay, you know what? Yeah, so it looks like my equivalent is 5 for the what I'm seeing in TV, which is fine as long as we get the same number so far anyway. Okay, what is SPI doing? It's doing its craziness. That's what it's doing. Whoa, I'm not in the lack anymore. Look at lack. Well, on a boring play that's only down 20%, guys, there's the AI alert, 812, almost a dollar for an $8 stock. I know it's boring compared to these other little jets, but you know, today is a unique day. Hello, Amy. How am I? Exhausted, but fine otherwise. It's a good exhaustion. How's that? I can. Yes, I can. Okay, so are you talking about your price alert window? You're talking about your price alert window, right? Okay, so you can do it one of two ways. It's your choice. If you see it on the chart, so let's just say I put a price alert here. Okay, let's say it doesn't even matter if it triggers or not, but I can just go up, and the minute the cursor changes to that icon, you just left click, hit delete on your keyboard, and then OK. Okay. Now that's a long way. You can go into your price alerts window though. Probably this is an easier way. You just pick the ones you want to get rid of. So if I say I want to get rid of that first one, I can highlight all of them at once, of course, if I want to, or I can select. But the bottom line is once I highlight, then I just right click and delete. Okay. So I can do it if you want to do more en masse, then you just do something like that. Yeah, it's easy once you know, like everything. Now, meanwhile, Workhorse is not. You would have thought maybe with that news, or not the news, but the excitement. But look at Horse. That is not following suit. Meanwhile, cannabis just getting kicked, 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 kicked. Well, that's the bottom line, Amy, isn't it? Well, the finally, my alerts have stopped. Remember, I was telling you guys that it's always a good idea to keep the distance from the exit price column. So I took this trade earlier on, the SPY trade in the demo, just to show you guys how to make a trade. So it's always a good idea to see, well, how good was I on the exit? So, I mean, this says $23. Of course, at one point that would have been almost like $40. Okay, let me take a look, see if I've got the same. Yes. So I'm using 5, but it looks it's virtually the same number. It's exactly the same number. So it may be just. I wonder if it's one off, if you know what I mean. Definitely watch it tomorrow. Not shortable at IB, but well, something to watch for tomorrow for me. And you're just using on the 2 minute chart, nothing else. Okay, and Sun W was halted, and now it is moving down. Move down. All right, guys, it is almost 3 o'clock, so I will be shutting down. I know I said I was kind of kidding. I'm not sticking around to 6, but boy, the SPY is just getting kicked, really getting kicked hard now. Well, I can't wait for tomorrow, real. See if the same sort of course, what you need some irrational exuberance in a bunch of stocks for that to happen. But yeah. Boy, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 hours straight down. After really, not that much happening, and then all of a sudden. No, this one halted on the way down. Believe it or not an energy play or an EV play. XERS halted on the way down. Whew. Okay, guys, 2:58. So I'll be shutting the room down. Unless there are some questions, I will stick around if there are some questions. Otherwise, I will shut the room down. What a day. Yeah, thanks, guys. Okay, I think I'll shut it down. I don't see any questions right now, so I think I will shut it down. Again, if you want to attend, I'll just pop the link in one more time. If you do want to attend the webinar this afternoon, this is the one that I just help out on. I don't do any. Thank goodness I'm not on the mic. I need a break. But if you click on this link, my homepage link, click on that link there, and then where it says sign up for the free daily webinars, click there, click here, and scroll down a little bit, and then where it says daily webinars, you can sign up for it. Okay? All right. Hey, we'll do it all over again tomorrow. It's gonna be really hard to top today for excitement, but you never know. Okay, guys. So have a great evening, and I'll open the room tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So have a great evening, and we will see you then. Bye bye.